Happy Sunday, it's Christine Kretcher from Create with Christine, and I am here live with you with another live stamping session. This morning I am going back to the annual catalog, the 2020-2021 annual catalog, and I'm going to feature a sweet and simple birthday card. So here is the card we are going to make this morning. I am using the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set. I just got this one. And let me show you in the catalog a couple things about this stamp set and what inspired me to share this video with you this morning. So it's on page 103 of the annual catalog. And one of the things this is a newer stamp set that just came out this year, and I look for stamps that have coordinating products. So this stamp set coordinates with the stitched rectangle dies, and you can see in the It's Your Day, Enjoy It, and the Happy B-Day stamps, they have kind of a grayish bluish outline, and that's the rectangles that they coordinate with. So when you're looking through your catalog, look for those things. And then it has this cute little bag, and underneath that, the markering technique. So that's the technique I want to show with you this morning. I'm pairing it up with the Playing with Patterns Designer Series paper. That's a really fun one, and I just love the colors. So I picked 4 colors, and yeah, let me point the camera down and we will get stamping. Okay, so again, here is the card we are making. I just want to see if I can find myself in the video to make sure I am in the screen. Last week I did not do such a great job of that. So, like I said, it's the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set. There's 4 stamps in this stamp set, and they are the red rubber cling. So when you're using markering, you want to make sure you're doing it with the red rubber cling stamps. So this was an oldie but goodie technique that it was probably one of the first things I loved about Stampin' Up! Is that I could use my markers to color my stamps. And when I was brand new, of course, I wanted all the colors, and an easy way to get all the colors was to invest in buying the whole marker box. So now I have my markers kind of behind me in my storage, so I don't really use the box anymore. But it's a great value because you get all the colors, all the main colors in the 4 color families. Okay, so let's get started. I have my packet all cut out. I'm going to start with a piece of Whisper White, and it's 3 by 3.5. And this is the perfect size for my stamp. So pretty much I just kind of measured what my stamp size was. And there's a little bit of white space. And I'm going to bring over the 4 marker colors that I'm using. So I'm using Night of Navy, Purple Posy, Calypso Coral, and Coastal Cabana. I actually want to start with Purple Posy because it's the lightest color. And if I screw up with this one, I could always cover it up with one of the darker colors. So I'm just going to do it's wishing you the happiest of birthdays. So is going to be Purple Posy. And one of my tips is to keep your marker kind of straight and use it on its side to protect your tips and have your markers last longer. Now, Purple Posy is one of the in colors from 2020 to 2021. So for this one, you'd have to buy the in color. So I markered it once, and then I want to go over a second time. That's one of my other tips with using markers, is that you want to go over it a second time. Okay, so I've got my Purple Posy. I'm going to just rotate. So, and next up, I'm going to do the wishing. So you could totally do this with 3 colors, 4. I think 3 or 4 would work well because you could actually do wishing you the all one color. But I decided to use 4 because I just got inspired by the Playing with Patterns Designer Series paper. And of course I'm using the polka dots. I love polka dots. So that paper has lots of different colors in it. So again, I went over once, so now you want to go over a second time. And try to keep your marker on its side. So Night of Navy is part of the, wow, I can't think of this morning, neutrals. So Night of Navy you could buy in a separate pack. They are, I believe, $30, and you would get the 10 colors in the neutrals pack. And I'm going to rotate again and do Happiest of in Calypso Coral. I love the font in this stamp. And like I said at the beginning, since it coordinates with the stitch rectangles, it just gives me multiple ways to use it with the dies and the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I almost screwed up because I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be coral or not, but it is. Okay, so I went once, and like I said, repeat and go a second time. So this does take a few minutes, but it's the result is worth it. And then for birthdays, Coastal Cabana. So I've been doing so many fall and Halloween projects that I just kind of wanted to go back and do something different today. So everybody needs birthday cards in their stash. And speaking of Halloween, I have my Halloween card class is closing. The RSVP is going to be by Wednesday, this Wednesday, September 16th. Okay, so now you could huff on this with your mouth, kind of like when you're cleaning your glasses. I'm not even going to bother doing that because with COVID, if you were doing this as a class, or I don't think everybody wants to be breathing on everybody's stamps. So that looks pretty good. I kind of missed part of the H swivel, but I could fix that later with my markers. So let's look at the other pieces. Good morning, Kathy. Thanks for joining. The other pieces, I have a Calypso Coral that's the same measurement. So it's 3 by 3.5, and I'm just going to kind of like offset it a little bit. I really like to do kind of this whimsical type look on my projects. So I'm just going to bring over a little bit of glue and adhere this while I'm here. Try to keep your glue in the middle because you're going to offset a tad, so you don't want glue going everywhere. So I just did a slight kind of offset. And then, so originally when I made this card, I was going to do it this way. And I ended up, of course, this way. And to me, this looks like a present. So that's how I ended up here, but it's not how I originally planned it. So I cut some pieces of ribbon. The Playing with Patterns ribbon combo pack has 3 different ribbons. So just to show you really quick, sorry this is in the plastic, but there's a purple posy and white ribbon, a navy ribbon, and a Coastal Cabana ribbon. So I'm using 2 of the ribbons, and I just kind of sort of place them where I think I want them, and it's going to cover up most, but I think I want it about there. I just love the cute polka dot ribbon, the polka dot paper. So what I want to do is kind of mark my place, so I'll just use my glue as a placeholder. And this ribbon, you kind of want to make sure you have the purple and the white. This side is more faded, so this is the side I want to show. And I'm going to use a couple glue dots, and 1 on each end. This is where the silicone mat would come in handy because I kind of want, that's my spot that I marked, but I'm just gonna pick it up with my fingers and then I'm gonna repeat with the navy right on top. So the navy skinny ribbon will layer up just like that. So these are 5.5 inch pieces. So I've got my glue dots on, one on each end. I'm just gonna layer it on top. And then just to save time on the video, I cut another piece of the navy ribbon that's 8 inches long. And I made that into a bow ahead of time just to kind of save time. I knew the markering would take a few minutes to show you. So I have my stamped image, and then I did an 8-inch bow. So pretty much all I did was take my ribbon, make 2 loops and tie them together, and then kind of futz with it to get it how I want it. So let's glue this down first. You could use dimensionals. I'm just gonna put a little bit of liquid glue on either side. So it does still show a little bit of the ribbon at either end. And then you have 2 options. You can add this on with a little bit of liquid glue at the top, or you can use a glue dot. I'm just going to use a glue dot. The liquid glue, you kind of have to hold it in place for a few minutes. So it's great when you're doing little bows. This one's a kind of a little bow, but... And I can still futz with this, cut my tails, and then I am ready to adhere to my card base. So I have a purple Posy card base. I'm going to put this on with Stampin' Seal, and what I have been doing lately is holding it kind of almost straight up and down. So you might have to kind of advance it a tad, but then hold it straight up and down. And this was a trick I learned from one of my stamping friends. Whoops. But it really helps it come out great, and it's super sticky. And then I can just add this right to my purple Posy card base. So that is my card for this week. So I want to show you a couple things. So there's my original, and here's my final version. So like I mentioned, my card class is closing out this Wednesday, September 16th. I'll still have the tutorial for sale, but if you want to buy the card kit, here are the cards really quick. And I also want to show a preview of my sampler, which if you saw in the beginning, it was over my shoulder when I first started the video. So this is going to be released later today at some point. So it's a Halloween sampler, and it's super sparkly in person. So 8 of the 9 squares have the black glimmer paper, and then I use the Ghoulish Goodies stamp set. So hopefully you kind of see a little preview of that. 3 of the squares have the metallic mesh ribbon, and I use the Halloween, the Magic in This Night designer series paper. So as soon as I saw the little Ghoulish Goodies stamp set in the catalog, I knew I wanted to make a sampler with that one. And actually, I can bring you back up for the final things. So let me bring you back up so you can see my face. Oh, thank you so much, Kathy. Glad you liked it. And let's see. So one thing is I still have the active host code open for September. So I will post the details below. But it's KNBM2RHV. And if you spend over $25 by September 30th, you will get a make and takes of 3 Halloween projects from me featuring the Magic in This Night designer series paper. And then just a final reminder is we're almost halfway through the month, which is crazy. It's already September 13th today. But there is a special promotion going until September 30th. It's called the Get and Go. And it's if you join my team and buy the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit. So if you want details on that, please reach out to me. We actually have a team meeting via Zoom today at 3 o'clock. So I'm excited to see all my Stampin' buddies on Zoom at 3 o'clock today. And what's great is we're all over the country, so we can all be on. And just final things on the starter kit is you get a 20% discount to start, and you can increase that to 25%. And then you can get all the directions to my classes for free. So the directions PDF tutorials I give to my stamping team for free, and I do at least 2 classes per month. So that's the scoop going on over here. I hope you're having a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in, whether you watch me live or catching the replay. And I will be back on Tuesday with a Casing Tuesday card to share. And then I'll be here again next Sunday at 10 o'clock with a live project. Have a great week.